Wait, this is Smarty. I don't give a shit about Smarty. I care about Siggy. Give me a Siggy's. Fuck Smarty. Hello! Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
As seen on your device. My name is Phil. Hi, I'm Phil. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Hi, I'm Phil. Today on the show, I didn't know what to make. And as such, John, the wonderful cameraman and editor, decided we would take a trip to Iceland, where the land is green, and not Greenland, but the land is ice. Today we'll be making the national treasure of Iceland, called Pylsur, or Pylsur, or Pylsur. I feel like it's like you have to get the salivation in there. It's classic. Pylsur. It's all in the inflection. It's a hot dog. Actually, what we're making is like not even anywhere close to this, but we are replicating someone else's bastardization of this dish. Arousing appetites. That's who we're following. Thanks, guys. Did you know you can't copyright recipes? This is gonna be more like a kebab than it's gonna be a hot dog. And then we're gonna put our bastardizations of their condiments. One of them is called Pylsussinep. Pylsussinep, I'm so sorry, Iceland. That is a sweetened mustard. I'm gonna put beer in it. And then we're also gonna make the Remoulade, or as I like to say, the Remoulade. So I'm gonna start with the condiments, then we'll make the meat, put it on a bun, then we'll be done. And it'll, I think it'll be good. I'm gonna crack open a beer. First step, make a drink. Maybe you're at that stage of life where you're not about making, you're about drinking. We did another show on a Norwegian dish, which was called Norwegian fish. What the f was that called? Plukfisk. That's right, plukfisk. Again, the inflection. Pluk! Nobody talks like that except for me. And that show we had an Icelandic vodka, which was called Reka. Alright, let's make that, we're gonna start with the Remoulade, which starts with egg yolk. Not entirely confident in my abilities to do this. I think we're making like a shitty mayo to start with. And you know, if we f it up, might just use mayo. But anyways, there's our egg yolk. And to that we will add some Dijon mustard, or as they probably say in Iceland, Dijon. And you want about a tablespoon of that. I'm eyeballing it, which, you know, that's a recipe for success. So we will mix that well in the bowl. Then we need 3/4 cups of olive oil, which seems like quite a bit to me. Okay, so vigorously mix and very slowly pour in your oil. So in essence, we're creating an emulsified whatever. Yeah. You know, I don't have anything to say. But if I had something dumb to say, that's how I would have started it. A lot of times things that don't end up being in the final edit start with, you know. Wow, look at that, that's thick as f. God dang. Is this how mayonnaise is made? You know, on the off chance that someone from Iceland is watching this, first off, I'm sorry. But second off, if you're wondering why is some Midwestern American guy in his crumply pajamas making this, the answer is, I don't know, that's kind of the theme of our show. I mean, yeah, well, the cameraman decided I was gonna do it, but we already made everything I know how to make, and now I just kind of take peeks at my phone and try to cobble something together that's from someone else's culture, and, you know, as long as food's made out of food, usually it works out okay. My beer's warm. Here I am in the garden, snip a little chives. Snip, snip. Don't say that too loudly around the dogs. Perhaps some nice parsley. Only the nice stuff though. And thyme if it's alive. You alive in there? And that should do it. Here we have the most exciting herbs you can possibly imagine. Chives and parsley. Yeah. You know they don't have trees in Iceland anymore? National tragedy. Did I tell the folks at home that Kevin and I met in Icelandic saga? Yeah, our friendship is based on the country of Iceland and its history. Nice job, Iceland. Brought me and Kev together. Although they are homegrown chives, I use fertilizer. Miracle Grow is a hell of a drug. I'm also gonna add a little dried tarragon because I was at a store and I told John that tarragon's not worth buying fresh because it doesn't taste like anything. So add some of that. Ooh, I added quite a bit. Ooh, I'm a little weirded out at the texture. Okay, next ingredients are Gherkins and Capers, which are weird words to come out of your mouth. Gherkins and Capers. It almost sounds like a children's book. or something. The capers of Gherkins and capers. We're gonna chop them gherkins up. Make those little baby pickles into even smaller. Got a nice pickle smell to them. They are indeed pickles. That'll really give the remoulade its pickly flavor. Here's my gherkins. You need like a tablespoon, don't chop too many. Probably could have just used one. Next up are capers, which I do not know why they put them in a jar that you cannot fit a spoon in. Folks at home, if you know, let me know, because I do not know. We'll just pop those right in. About a tablespoon. It's gonna be a kind of a chunky remoulade, I guess. And my all-time favorite thing to do is to pour a tablespoon of vinegar out of a gallon. Good enough. And mix it up. Iggy, hey! Iggy! Iggy. All right, here I have some toothpaste. In Nordic countries, they like fish-flavored toothpaste, such as anchovy paste. Apply after every meal. Isn't that funny? And then we need a half teaspoon, which to me, I think that means just a little anchovy poopy paste. Look at that, that is truly disgusting. And vigorously mixed to pretend like that. Didn't see it. Why are you so, Iggy, why are you so mad? Iggy. Is it Roxanne? Yeah, you see Roxanne. You don't gotta bark at her? That dog's like 17 years old. It's basically Caesar dressing without the cheese. I'm gonna set that aside. All right, so I can't read, and I didn't realize that this recipe vaguely called for a half cup of dried mustard. And I was like, well, I got dried mustard. Well, it turns out that's how much I got. But in the spirit of ingenuity, I'm gonna use a combination of two of the other ingredients. Well, no, this ingredient and one other ingredient, which is ground mustard and white vinegar, also known as regular mustard. But so that you have at least the illusion of authenticity, I'm going to add vinegar to this ground mustard. As such, we're gonna give it a stir with this spoon that's been in the remoulade in my mouth, so I need a little cleaner than it is. Look at that, nice and runny. And anyways, we'll add just a crap load of regular mustard too. Delightful. Next up, we will add some beer. All right, here we got a light beer. This one's Miller Lite. It's all right. And so far what we're making looks pretty wretched. Gotta say, pretty wretched. You can see how that regular mustard is just like not blending in. That's fine. All right, next we're gonna add some garlic. We're just gonna add some pulverized. Next up, this is a weird condiment. I think that it's just like a bunch of bullshit. It's like a bunch of other condiments that are all thrown together. Because next up is some ketchup. That's gonna make it turn it browner, I guess. We need honey. Honey is what makes it sweet and what will save us from its thin consistency. I have a very, very strong childhood memory that I want to share. This is a mom story. Growing up, I had like some kind of like church potluck. I don't remember what was being served, but limited condiments. People were over, and we ran out of barbecue sauce. And my mom was like, "Don't worry, I got this." And she mixed equal parts ketchup and mustard. And I was like, it's barbecue sauce. I was like, Mama, no! And it looked very similar to this, which is why I remember it being like, I just don't think that's true. God damn, this looks terrible. Then we're gonna need some more honey, and then I'm gonna hit it, most likely, with something that everyone has in their kitchen cabinet. A little something called xanthan gum. Now, if you don't know what xanthan gum is, Iggy, for the love of God. If you don't know about xanthan gum, it's in most things, and you only need a little bit, but xanthan gum will emulsify just about anything. It also doesn't taste like anything. You gotta be really careful, because if you do this wrong, it'll turn it into phlegm.
Not say it like an Icelander would.
Flam! Flam! And reverse the mix. It actually kind of looks like a condiment now. I think whisking is helping too. I wonder if I can just throw it in a jar and shake it. Try a different mixing methodology. This is overly complicated. Just don't make it like this. Or maybe just buy it. Or just put honey and mustard together. It's just honey mustard. Like what? Whatever. It's close enough. Yeah. It's a little thin, but you know, I really, at this point, have put the maximum amount of effort I'm going to into that. Tastes fine. Tastes like a sweet mustard. A little bit of beer twang. That one should go in the fridge. All right, now that we got all the flavoring agents, I'm gonna clean up our mess and we'll start working with meat. I'm going to preheat the broiler. I have never used that function in this house. Oh, cool. Look at that. Grill fire. All right, here we have the ingredients for the sausage. One of the ingredients is sausage, actually. We'll start with lamb. Iceland is famous for its meats, so I've heard. And the meats that I have here are nothing similar at all to Icelandic meat, other than they came from the same kind of animals. But lamb in particular is pretty legendary. Iceland has its own kind of sheep as well. They got their own kind of mini things. There's Icelandic horses, Icelandic sheep, Icelandic people. Next up, we will have some beef that was on special. By the way, we're doing a pound each of these. It's old. It oxidizes a little bit. That is fine. Meat in general is fine until it starts turning magical colors like green or smells really bad. This is ground pork. This is my substitute for ground pork, so the store didn't have it. This is American pork breakfast sausage, which is ground pork with a lot of fat and some limited seasoning. And you know, 1 out of 3 meats being spiced is probably enough for Iceland, old Iceland. Here's that homegrown thyme. This is Elfin thyme. Elf like the elves in Iceland. I actually know all kinds of dumb things about Iceland where they've got government workers who don't build roads around certain rocks or through rocks. They don't move things because there's elves that live there. It's a magical place, Iceland, that I've never been to, so I really don't know that much about it. Thyme's there for flavor. Give a liberal salt to it. Or maybe a well-balanced salting. Alrighty, here's the meats. We're just gonna mix it up. That's how sausage is made, or hot dogs, I guess. And I don't think that you want to overwork it because overworking it will make it harder to hot dogify. One of my pastimes is watching videos on manufacturing processes, and hot dogs, for whatever reason, there's like tons and tons of videos on how those are made. Modern American hot dogs are caseless, which is kind of cool. They cook them in giant hoses, which serve as like artificial casings, and then they just poop out. It's real weird, man. But it's cool. You should watch educational videos on YouTube's kid. I don't know about this, guys. I feel like it's gonna be hard to get the meat to really hold together, but we'll do our best. I think that making it just as turd-like as you can is gonna be the way to go. And then putting it in our skewer here, as best we can. Those are gonna be like ballpark hot dogs. They're gonna plump when we cook them. I was pontificating on the marketing phrase of ballpark hot dogs. That was like, they plump when you cook them. It's like, well, that's how hot dogs work so good. It's almost as if they were like, they cook when you cook them. That's great. That's right. Do that till you're done. Should I find some plastic here? It's time to put the meat in. That middle just looks kind of dangerous, doesn't it? Those aren't gonna cook evenly at all. But in the spirit of our show, it's fine. That meat will be fully cooked for safety. Here's another treat from Iceland that does not go with this dish. It's called Siggy's yogurt. Simple ingredients, not a lot of sugar. Looks kind of like ice cream. Oh, that's thick. That's very good yogurt.
That is very weird.
Tastes kind of like cheese. It's like that soft cheese.
Soft cheese.
All right, shit's cooking quick. It's like a couple minutes, look at that. They're grilling. So we're gonna flip them over like you would on a conventional grill. Turns out it's hard to roll 2 dogs at once. Who would have guessed? In the spirit of our show, just do your best. I'm gonna cook you so good. I have to tell the folks at home why I'm uncomfortable today. Similar to a dog who has been washed and can no longer recognize himself. The shirt that I'm wearing was laundered with my brother's clothing and he uses a different detergent. So I smell like my brother and I'm just like, who am I? I smell like Tide.
What do you normally smell like?
Nothing! I keep flipping them and moving them around in hopes they'll cook better. Dogs, see the dogs. It's hot in there, but it smells good. Okay, so we're getting there. They're almost done. When everything's done, turn off the oven and then remove the food from the oven. And there you have it. We got some nice char. Those actually kind of look grilled. Not bad for an inside job. And you guys didn't even see it, but we made some potatoes. And I'm gonna heat up the buns by just throwing them in the oven willy-nilly. I think that'll be fun. What's the worst that could happen? Actually, I'll show you what's the worst that could happen. You could buy a package that includes a hot dog bun that looks like this. So those will warm up. To tell if they're done, give them a little squeeze. I would classify those as fully cooked. If you are that Icelandic person who's like, oh yeah, you know, I love that food, and you're like, that doesn't look anything like that food. We started off the show by telling you, we're making a food and we can't pronounce the name of it, and it's not gonna be that food, it's not gonna look like it, and there's almost nothing in common. The whole thing's been a farce. All right, so while the other buns are heating up, I'm just gonna pull one so that we can just finish the show. So we will start with our condiments. Start with the remoulade. Boy, it looks weird. And we'll smear a side with that. To this, we will add some sliced Gherkins and a hot dog. Oh God. And we'll hit it with the sweet mustard. Give it a drizzle. And we will top with some minced shallot. Oh, that's gonna be nice. And purely for cosmetics, we will add potatoes on the side so that it looks like a meal. But truly, I doubt this is even, that doesn't count as a hot dog. It's just like a long burger. I actually don't even know if these potatoes are cooked, but they look nice. It's gonna be tough to actually try this. Just do your best. It's really good. Really good. Fully cooked. The sweet mustard and the remoulade taste really good together. And honestly, the meat is way more like a burger than it is a hot dog. But you know, like hot dogs have been instilled with nitrates and other weird shit that's probably not good for you. So somehow this turd-like shape of meat on a bun is more healthy. So we'll wrap this one up. For health. It's very meaty, the sweetness is nice, the pickliness is nice, pickliness. And I recommend this as a fun thing to eat. I don't feel comfortable saying that's how you do it, but that's a food pretending to be another food. I guess that's how you do that. So, see you later.